Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Creed. Today we will be going over the next British battlecruiser, that being Hood, but today was update day and there was quite a few interesting things that came out today. So let's go over that first. Alright, so this is coming straight from the Naval Creed Warships Global Community Facebook page. So there is a new Chinese destroyer that is available for preview in the text tree. The new event that gives you Maryland and Trafalgar has started. They made some changes to Arena, some changes onto some destroyers, as well as Tiger, or Southampton. The detectability went down quite a bit. Kaliningrad received a buff. The main battery fire rate went from 2.3 to 2.5. And they now added British carriers, destroyers, the new German cruisers, and the Soviet cruisers into the AI ship pool. So hopefully we'll be seeing those in game as well as enemy bots. So there are a couple of pictures of the new Chinese destroyer, but it's already for preview in game, so we'll take a look at it there. Alright, so now we're back in the game. First, let's take a look at the new event ships before today's video, so you can kind of get an idea of what ships you're working towards, and if you should even try and get them. So the first one is in the game called West Virginia. I renamed her Maryland, and I actually already have her. I have gone through the point packs that you can get by spending credits, which is a neat thing that they haven't done before. And you can also buy them using prisms. So I'm already past halfway done with the event. I haven't actually played the event mission yet, but I have seen some pictures of what you'll be going up against, and it looks pretty difficult actually. But I'll have to play a few games, and then we'll review the event mission, or how many there are, once we finish with British battle cruisers. So, for Maryland, upgraded Colorado, tier 7.0. We'll have her own video on her. But for right now, things that stick out from her are the best anti-aircraft defense of any battleships at this tier, the longest range guns at this tier, and honestly, she just looks really, really awesome. Also, good secondary range at this tier too, so she can maybe be a secondary brawler if you really wanted it to be, but maybe not. Yeah, have not played her yet, but she definitely looks very, very powerful and fun. Second ship that you can get, new British battle, or British destroyer Trafalgar. Yeah, she's matchmaking 8.0, so she's with Legion and Lightning, or Loyal if you want to call her that. And she's pretty much a Jutland or a battle class, but the 1942 version instead of the tier 9 1943 version. So she has, technically it says it has 2 turrets, and then this one's a secondary, which I do believe it looks like a different caliber, but there's no secondary range, so I don't know if this is a main turret or not. Then she has quadruple torpedo tubes and some AA mounts. Compared to Legion and Lightning, this ship is actually worse than both of those separately. The only way that she has any kind of advantage is that she has better HE shells and armor-piercing shells than both of those ships. So there's a possibility that she's a better gunboat. I mean, she also has the ability to have better gun angles if she's anything like Jutland. So she may be a really good gunboat, but between torpedoes and AA defense and everything else, she's either average or worse than. So honestly, kind of questionable on whether or not this ship should be played for, I guess you could say. I would definitely try and go for Maryland. If not just for the full AA laughs. But Trafalgar, there's nothing really that screams grind the arena game or the event game until you get me. So it's really up to you. Obviously, I'm going to get her for collector's purposes, but she still just doesn't stick out as something that looks really fun to me. And then the newest ship that was previewed today is actually one that I had no idea about, and I saw the pictures on it this morning, and it looked cool as heck. The Chinese destroyer Zian, I'm assuming, I don't know, it's a Luda class, is how NATO described it, because this destroyer actually came out in the 1970s. Surprisingly, it's a tier 9, not a tier 10. I did not expect that. So yeah, as a tier 9 and not a tier 10, that did come as a surprise. Um, and I thought she would be immensely powerful because you have the twin 130 millimeter gun turrets, you have a bunch of AA guns on the side, you have quintuple torpedo tubes, and you also even have rocket launchers, which I'm pretty sure are effective in game as well. So yeah, I expect her to be really, really powerful, but when I compared the preview stats against other tier 9s, such as Tashkent, Jutland, Fletcher, Halford, Akazuki, and Yukikaze, um, it actually wasn't that big of a stretch. So she seems pretty balanced, or at least on paper she does. Her guns have really, really good armor piercing, and she has pretty decent torpedoes and AA as well, but nothing that really stands out as exceptional. She does look very, very nice. I do like the way she looks. Um, One thing that I am kind of disappointed on though is that she is or going to be a diamond ship. So no free XP bonus, so you can't grind with her, which is very disappointing because I really wanted to. I would have thought that since they did Fen Yang last time as a free XP ship, that they would do the newest one as a free XP ship as well. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Alright, but she looks very, very nice. I can't wait to get her. And even if she's the diamond ship, I do plan to play her quite a bit. Alright, so today's video, now that we got all that out of the way, we are going over HMS Hood. Very infamous battle cruiser, sunk in the Battle of the Denmark Strait. Let's see what we have and how she plays in game. So first, let's take a look at her stats. We have 67,200 health, 25% torpedo resistance, up to 15 inches of armor, of which 12 of that is on the belt, and the rest are the thicker parts are on the gun faces and the barbets themselves. This ship can be citadeled, however, it's similar to Repulse in how it can kind of be trolly. Where you think you would get a citadel, you would just get a bunch of chunk damage, and where you don't think you would get a citadel, you do. So it's really up to how the armor decides to play in your favor on that particular day. Yeah, guns. You have 15-inch guns arranged in 4 double turrets. You have 2 fore. You have 2 aft. The guns are really, really accurate. Notwithstanding other British battle cruisers, this one probably has the in-game, I feel, is the best accuracy. It's very, very similar to a British battleship in that regards, and you can nail pretty decent salvos at long range. Your gun range is 18.8 kilometers, and your secondary range is 5 kilometers. For secondaries, you have a couple, like 4-inch mounts. You have 3 or 4. No, I think you only have 3. 3 dual. Oh no, you have 3 on each side, and then 1 aft. For 7 dual purpose, I think, or at least twin secondary mounts. I did at one point think about making her as a secondary build, but I quickly outruled that, so don't do that. AA is questionable. You're not going to shoot down anything really, but a cool thing about her is that she has AA rocket launchers. Yes, you have unguided rockets. Don't get excited, they don't have any special effect in game. But yeah, you have some other pom-poms, 40 mils. There's another rocket launcher, some more. So you have some pretty interesting AA mounts, but none really that make you effective. Speaking about effects, one thing that I did not mention in the uh, update review is that weird storm cloud plus the birds kind of repair effect for Southampton or Tiger C20. They said they removed that. I don't know what they put in place of that, and I haven't played her since then, but at least we can at least see the map now. Maybe they'll do that with Molotov as well, but I kind of feel like that's a Molotov thing. So maybe they'll just leave it the way it is. Who knows? All right, going back to Hood. Yeah, so you have good guns, good accuracy, kind of pathetic secondaries in AA. Your health is all right, armor okay, speed 32 knots. All right, so pretty good. At tier 7, you do have the chance of running into Dunkirks at 6.5 matchmaking, so you will be outran by them, but you have bigger guns than Dunkirk, and 15-inch can go through Dunkirk's nose. So you can deal with that. Let's see what else is fast at tier 7. Prince of Wales, another British battleship. You can deal with her okay, though she only goes 28.5, so you can still outrun her. There's nothing really. Well, there's Gneiss now that goes 32 knots. So you will most likely have long running fights, I guess you could say, with Gneiss nows, because neither of you have the advantage, I would say. Unless if you stay out of torpedo range of Gneiss now, you should be alright. Alright. And there was one last thing I wanted to go over. Maybe not. Alright, well, anyways. Oh yeah, maneuverability. Yeah, she turns like a brick. She has the worst maneuverability ever. She has like a 950-meter turning circle. Yeah, don't expect to make any quick turns with this ship. Alright, so enough blabbering on. Let's toss her into a game and see how we can do today. Alright, here ourselves a game. We have Gneisenau, Nagato, Hood, Lyon, Miyako, Chongqing, Pensacola, Akatsushima, Fubuki, Akatsuki, and Leningrad. So a good mix of battleships, cruisers, and destroyers with no carriers, which honestly is not a bad thing. I'll take that and run. Alright, so let's see here. Yeah, pretty good. I don't think there's any real big target that I have to be wary of. Yeah, maybe Gneisenau. You're always gonna have a problem with Gneisenau. She's such a really, really powerful ship at this tier because of her armor. But yeah. At least there's no Nelsons or Romneys, but you do have a Nagato, which does have 16-inch guns. Leon has 13.5, Manson has 15, and so do I. Alright, so let's just start making our way this way. I do have health buffs and speed buffs applied at this time, so keep that in mind. And once we are up to our max speed, I will implement the speed boost and see what our total speed is. So base speed is 34.2 knots. And with speed boost, we get up to let's look around 37.7. So we can almost go 38 knots in this ship, which is literally a destroyer speed. Now, obviously, we're not going to outrun a Leningrad or run down a Leningrad, which can do like 40. She can almost do like 50 knots, I swear. So yeah. But you are pretty fast for, like a capital ship. So let's see what we can do today. Your gun angles aren't terrible, believe it or not. If you block from amidships to astern, you can bounce. And from amidships to the bow, if you shoot right under the turrets, you will get penetrations, but there's still a pretty high chance of ricochet. So let's see what we have. Oh, we have a Pensacola. Those are always fun to shoot. Okay, so we do have armor piercing loaded. Similar to all other British battle cruisers, she does have really good high explosive fire chance. So you can use her as an HE spammer. However, I do find that her armor piercing is still quite effective by itself, similar to how Repulse is. Hood and Repulse are almost identical. The only difference is the ship gets longer and you add another turret on. That's basically it. So I'm not getting the citadels I want, but I am getting some good chunks of damage on the Pensacola. I do know that the Leningrad is right there. So in case she does send some torpedoes my way, which I highly doubt, hopefully we'll be able to go around those. Yep, there we go. Hey, we shot down a plane. Still no citadels, which is really surprising. I forget what our secondary range is. Oh, it looks like it's 5 kilometers. Four overpens, still no citadel. Though I'll just let the secondaries and my other teammates work it down. There is a nice and tasty Nyoko across the side here who is about to take 2 Akitsushima torps. Similar to Repulse, I'm not that big of a fan of Hood. Ooh, nice citadel. Just really don't like her lack of maneuverability and inconsistent gunplay. I just feel like she just doesn't work for me all that well. Alright, so let's see if we can get some good damage on this Gneiss now while we can. 5 pens, 2 overpens. Almost half damage because she's going to tear these cruisers apart. And then I will have no support. So we're actually going to use our speed boost here. And we're just going to keep being set on fire. Hey, we actually got a fire ourselves. Awesome. Yeah, Chungking is almost down. And then we only have Ryoko, which will go down pretty quickly as well. We're going to pop a heal because their secondaries are tearing me apart. That's another thing about this ship is that she has such high superstructure. Just secondaries tear her absolutely to shreds. Now I am kind of closer than I should be. Remember, this is a battle cruiser. You want to kind of be at range. But I'm kind of playing dangerously right now because I like to be up and personal with the enemy. As you can see there, no citadels with 8 15-inch shells to the hood of, or broadside of hood, but that was still almost 25,000 damage. So it can still take major damage on the broadside, even if it's not a citadel. Leningrad is smoking up. I don't think I can slow down in time to actually use it though. So we'll just keep going. Let's see if we can punish this Nagato for giving us broadside. Not really. That was disappointing. However, we are undetected because of the smoke screen, so this is kind of cool. It's always funny how you can be undetected when there's battleships just right across the way. So let's send some more. Oh, there we go. See, 2 citadels, 32,000 health or damage. And then we're kind of having a chasing action, which Hood is actually decent at fighting. There are now no longer any ships on the enemy team that can run me down. And now Kitsushima got nuked. So now we have a Lyon. 7 shells right through the nose. Secondaries are going to town. I have almost 200 secondary hits now. I highly doubt any of them did any damage though. So even if you have a lot of secondary hits, that doesn't mean you have a lot of secondary damage. I think this Leon's going to catch a couple torpedoes. Maybe just 1. Or none. Alright, cool. Whatever. Let's pop another heal because there's only really these 2 battleships left. And now there really is only these 2 battleships left. And some decent damage. As you can see, these rear gun angles are really, really good. So if you're kiting away from enemy ships like I am, you can use your good gun angles to just bounce enemy shots. Let's see if we have overmatching capability at this tier. I'm not quite sure if the battle armor gets upgraded. Nope, we can still go through the nose. At least of Leon. Also, did you see the accuracy of that salvo? It was spectacularly spot on. So this is why she has like British battleship accuracy with British battlecruiser high explosive and terrible maneuverability in secondaries and air aid, but everything else is really good about her. Decent armor. It's not going to be the strongest, but it's not terrible. Look, 8 penetrations for 20,000 damage at over 10 kilometers. Alright, let's see if we can get some deck penetrations at this angle. Yep, 3 pens for 8,500 damage, pretty much. And then this last salvo should be enough to sink her. Well, almost. And there we go. Alright, so let's see how we did today. Because I feel like that was actually some pretty decent damage. 269,000 damage. 3 ships sunk, 103 shell hits, 1 aircraft shot down, 4 citadels, 2 fires, 192 secondary hits for 5,600 base XP. 246,000 damage of that was in armor-piercing shells. We had 10,000 damage in fires and 12,000 damage in secondary battery hits. So a lot of that was just from the armor piercing. I never fired one single high explosive shell, mainly because I feel you don't really need to. You can if you'd like, but you don't have to. And so yeah, just a really, really good long-range AP spammer. And you can get the occasional citadel, and you can also overmatch other battleships. So yeah, she's really good, but honestly, she just doesn't fit my playstyle, so that's why I don't play her that much. That doesn't mean she's bad, though. With that, I will wrap up today's video. If you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe for further content. And join me tomorrow while we go over the last British battleship ever constructed, but is treated as a battlecruiser in this game, Vanguard. So again, thank you, and take care.